our beliefs are lined up with the Word, but our confessions are not lined up with the Word, we are not going to get the benefit of receiving what our actions and beliefs have already done here. So there has to be spiritual alignment. Let me make this clear. So there has to be actions between the alignment between our actions, beliefs, and confession. Let me just kind of make this clear for you. So over in Daniel chapter 3, I want to go back and give us an example of a situation where we see an amazing outcome of actions and beliefs and confessions being aligned. And I want to offer, you can tell from the story that if one of those was not aligned, we would now be talking about this same amazing story years later. Shadrach, so the story is Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace. And you know, and if you go down to Mississippi, back down there where my granddad used to preach down there, you always listen to me say Shadrach, Meshach, and a bad Negro. So they're in the fiery furnace. Now in Daniel chapter 3 is when they are in the fiery furnace. So the question is, what happened? What led up to them being in the fiery furnace? In chapter 1, the Jews were captured by the Babylonians or by the Chaldeans. In chapter 2, then at the end of the chapter, Nebuchadnezzar the king promotes Shadrach, Meshach, and the bad Negro to be over the province. So there were some Babylonians who got upset to say, how you going to let these foreigners be over us? And so as a result, they were always looking for some way to tear them down. I'm telling you right now, all of us in leadership position, there's always somebody trying to undercut you and pull you down. But God's grace, I'm telling you, in the Holy Spirit, I'm telling you, you just trust the prompting of the Holy Spirit, and He'll show you for somebody's heart. He'll show you what they're up to. He'll show you everything. And it said, write this down, please. Psalm 21:11. Psalm 21:11. It says, they imagine a mischievous device against you that they're not able to perform. Somebody try to take you out. And God says, my grace won't cover you. I got you. Somebody try to take you down. But God says, my grace is covering you. So here's the point. We don't even know all the things that the angels have protected us from. So that's why I got to be sensitive to the prompting of the Holy Spirit and make sure I'm going to stay in position. Because as long as I'm positioned over here, God's going to take care of that over there. And now when God shows us what they're up to, don't try to put them on blast. Don't be going on Facebook tonight. You know that little song. So no, you just go back in and you say, God, I just want to thank you for your revelation. And right now, I think they no longer walk in darkness. I think they come to the marvelous light and use me right now to bring them closer to you. That's what it's all about right here. Don't talk about it. If the Holy Spirit is willing to show it to you, the point here is that, so now we have an opportunity to intercede for them instead of trying to get rid of them. So Shadrach, Meshach, and the bad Negro. So they got promoted. Now here in chapter 3, King Nebuchadnezzar created an image 9 feet wide, 90 feet high, and everybody had to bow down to this image. He said, when you hear the sound of the music, everybody bow down. Everybody bow down. So what happens? So everybody bows down except Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Everybody else bows down except those 3. So what happened when they didn't bow down? The same Chaldeans or Babylonians who were upset that they are now that the Jews are over them, go back and tell King Nebuchadnezzar. They go to King Nebuchadnezzar, King, live forever. Didn't you pass a decree? That's what we did. Did you not pass a decree that everybody should bow down to your golden image? He said, yes, I did. And didn't you say, King, that whoever didn't bow down would be put into a fiery furnace? He said, yes, I did. He says, well, everybody's bowing down except those Jews you put over us. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So as a result, so he calls them before them. And he says, and King asked these 3 boys, is it true that you are not bowing down when you hear the sound of the music? That's what they say right here. Begin in verses 16, and we're going to get to verses 17. These three words right here would change your life about being close to God. So it says, Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego said to the king, we have no need to answer you in this matter. You would hear some of the older teachers used to say, I'm not going to even dignify that mess with a response. You go up here and say something crazy up in class, you just keep on teaching like they never even heard you. So they said, we don't have to even dignify what you're saying. What was this? Because the God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fire furnace. And he will deliver us from your hand, O king. Look at these words right here now. These other words change it. But if not, be it known unto thee, we are not going to serve your God. We're not going to worship God. I'm telling you right now, if we really want to be positioned to receive greater and more manifestation, we got to start having that but if not kind of faith. God, I want to have the work out this way. But if not, I still love you. God, I want you to move this way. But if not, I'm going to still praise you. God, I want this thing to be moved in my life. But if not, I still know you're a God all by yourself. But if not, I know, and they tell the king, they're talking to the king. They're saying, king, we don't even want to pay attention to what you got to say. Because the God we serve, I got a belief in my heart that the God I serve is able. And then what happens? Then I'm going to confess, he will deliver me from your hand. But if not, I'm still not going to bow down to your man-made idol. Some of us are in jobs right now. We have some policies that are against the word. Stand up for the Lord. Some of us got some folk in our lives. We start talking about the Lord, talking about tithing, talking about praying, talking about fasting. They want to ridicule us. No. Whenever we stand for God, we never stand alone. And some kind of way you got to say, but if not, God, I want to thank you right now. I'm not going to bow down to a man-made idol. I'm not going to bow down to a man-made job. I'm not going to bow down because, God, you are first in my life. You have been too good, and you've been too kind, and you've been too awesome, and you've been too wonderful. I am not going to bow down and not trust and serve and follow you. So what happens then? So after that point, it says right here in verses 19, 12, then Nebuchadnezzar just got hot. Full of fury. And what was the story say? At this point, he went and got his strongest men in the army. Bound, if you see right here, bound in verse 21, bound Shadrach, Meshach, and that bad Negro in their own clothes. Now, look what happened. They got tied up in their own clothes. They didn't get some other stuff. They had something here. And they got bound. You see right here in verse 1, they were bound in their own coats, hosen, belts, and their other garments. They were bound up with the stuff they already had. Look right here, down in verse 23. It says, so the three men, the guards, the strongest guards, took them up to the fiery furnace. And it says right here in verse 23, they were bound, they fell down bound in the midst of the fiery furnace. What are we seeing right here? There are a lot of us believers right now who are not bound by stuff out there. We are bound by our own stuff. Our own insecurity. Our own inferiority. I thought by now I'd be doing better right now, but right now God must forget about me. No, don't be bound by the stuff in life that's not working like you thought. Because God has you in life where God intended for you to be in life, and you thank God and honor God for where you are right now. Thank God for your journey and find joy in your journey. Yeah, I know you thought 20 years ago you'd be 20 years ahead. But look, what God allowed your journey that you've been on right now to help you get as close as you are right now. God allowed that journey to help you trust him like you did. You didn't trust him like that. You didn't pray like this before. And God said, don't you take anything for the journey that you've been on. Yeah, when you go to a family reunion or you go to a class reunion, Pookie may make more money and Cockroach may be doing better. But praise God for your journey. Praise God for your journey. Praise God for your journey. And don't get bound up with your own stuff. Your own stuff. Should have been doing better by now. Should have had this by now. I thought by now I'd be married different. I thought by now. Now praise God for where we are right now. Paul said in Philippians 4:11, I have learned to be content in whatever situation I'm in. I've learned to preach in a nice suit because I ain't look good today. But I also learned how to preach in the blue jeans. I've learned how to preach it. I learned to have a brand new clothes, and I learned how to be thankful for the patches on my knees. I want to thank you, oh God. I've learned to be content. Everything is not like anybody wants it to be. But you can't get bound up by your own stuff. Don't you think God doesn't love you and God turned his back on you? No, we got bound up by our own stuff. They were about tied up by their own clothes. They went into the fiery furnace bound with their own stuff. Oh, but look what happened next though. Suddenly, the king exclaimed, did we not put 3 men bound in the midst of the fire? And why do I see 4 walking around loose, and the 4th looks like the Son of God? So the only difference between them being bound and loosed was the fire in Jesus. Glory to God. I said the only thing that kept him from being bound and loosed, that the fire is, so don't always get upset by the fire. Because see, the fire is designed to purify. And the fire is designed to cleanse. And the fire is designed to get you better. So I'm telling you, so don't run from the fire. Don't run into it. But when the fire is there, you got to trust that the Holy Spirit is already in there with you. And you're never in this fire by yourself. You went in bound. And now they walking around loose. And even the king Nebuchadnezzar says, and it looks like Son of God. Oh, but that's not the end of the story now. So what happened? So their belief was that God is God all by himself. And their confession was, I'm not going to bow down to a man-made idol. My God I serve is able to deliver me out of your hands. But if not, I'm not going to bow down. So their actions were, they allowed themselves to be bound. They go into the fiery furnace, and then they're in there, now they are loose. They went in bound. In there now loose with the 4th looking like the Son of God. Look what happened right here. Then Nebuchadnezzar went to the fire, went to the mouth of the furnace. And says right here, he says, now look, I love what he said here. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, he said, are the servants of the Most High God. Come out and come here. They came out, and all the folk that tried to put them in there were looking. They thought they were going to be human shish kebabs. They come out of there, and what happened? Underline. And they saw these men on whose bodies the fire had no power. Come on now. The hair of their head was not singed, nor did their garments affected, and the smell of fire was not. And what am I saying? That you can go in the fire and knowing that God is with you and come out not smelling like smoke. As you can go in the fire and not have your hair stinging. You can go in the fire and God comes on send my son to be there with you. All because they saw manifestation, because their actions and their beliefs and also their confessions lined up. Now this brings it on in right here. So then King Nebuchadnezzar said, now what happened? The first word up there, blessed is the God, your God, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and saved you. So look at verse 29. He makes a decree that nobody can talk against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego without being torn limb for limb. What happened? And as a result of that, they had not even put in for promotion. It was not even annual evaluation time. And it says King Nebuchadnezzar promoted them because they saw the favor of God on your life. I'm telling you, you're going to have a position and have a job and have opportunities that have nothing to do with your credentials. It's because God's favor is all on your life. Hallelujah. So the king promoted them. But that happened because their actions and their beliefs and their confessions all lined up. Watch what happens now. The story's not over. That's all. This is chapter 3. But look what happens now. So what happens? So they go. They came out of the fire furnace. There's a alignment between their actions, beliefs, and. But what about this king? This king who built this image 9 feet, 90 feet high, 9 feet wide. This king who says, if you go back in verse 30, in chapter 3, it says, what God is there that can deliver you out of my hand?